Am I live? I'm assuming I'm live, so I'm going. Okay, I am live. All right, all right, guys. This is we're going to talk about scalp and detox in this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Stop. Oh God. Okay. All right, all right. You ready? Hey, everybody. Welcome in. If your hair has been feeling dry, itchy, heavy, stuck, or like it's just not responding no matter what you use, I'm talking to you today. I'm talking to the woman who has tried oils, creams, edge control, mousse, braids, wigs, sew ins, and protective styles, but her hair still feels like it's not where it should be. I want to see myself on the screen. All right, that's more like it. I want you to hear me clearly. It's not always your hair. A lot of times, it's your routine that can be totally off, and that's all we're talking about today. And sometimes your scalp is blocked. If your scalp is blocked and your hair is covered in buildup, nothing that you put on it is going to work the way it's supposed to. So today, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to show you what buildup does and how your hair can feel stuck, how to detox your scalp properly, and how to start your reset the right way, because healthy hair actually starts in the shower. So, the real problem. The real problem, hold on, let's listen to screen. How can we go here? Yes, okay. The real problem is, let's break this down real simple. Every day you shed hair, because we're mammals and we shed hair. You can shed up to 50 to 60 to 80 to 100 strands a day. But when you shed, your hair just doesn't disappear, right? When your hair is real curly, like it almost, when instead of the hair just releasing and falling out, like you can't just shake your hair and the hair falls out. Sometimes it stays stuck in the hair. So when you're not properly shampooing your hair and scalp, that trapped hair or that shedded hair can stay trapped in your hair. Now, let's add on top of that. Let's add on top of that oil, grease, mousse, edge control, sweat, old products, braids, weeds, wigs, and weeks without shampooing. You're not starting with a fresh slate. You're layering new product on top of old product. And this is where a lot of women get frustrated because they think their hair is dry. So when you think your hair is dry, what do? You add more product, right? You add more oil, more cream, because my hair's dry, right? So it needs oil. I add more leave-in. Like I need something on my hair because my hair is dry. You need more something. But you cannot moisturize your hair over top of buildup. I want you to hear me. You cannot moisturize over product buildup. So while you're trying to add moisture, we got to get a lot of the product off. So this is the main reason why your hair may feel stuck. A lot of people will say, like, my hair won't grow. But that's not like the full truth. Your hair could very well be growing. But the problem is it's growing in an environment that is not being maintained well. Thick, natural hair can make it harder to reach the scalp. So the thicker your hair is, the harder the scalp struggles. So braids, weaves, it blocks access. And when you're not shampooing consistently, everything kind of just sits there. So let's think about the scalp. All right. Let's talk about the scalp. Because your scalp it's not self-cleaning. It doesn't self-clean itself. It needs your help. So if your scalp is clogged and your hair is coated and your hair routine is off and inconsistent, then your hair is not going to respond the way you want it to. That does not mean your hair is hopeless. It means the foundation needs to be corrected. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused. They think they need a stronger product. They need a medicated shampoo, a $40, $60, $80 bottle of shampoo, and when your scalp is going crazy. And sometimes, yes, you may need a professional doctor or some medical help because there are some real, I'm not trying, if you got a real scalp issue, like that's not what I'm discussing because I'm not a licensed, I'm not a doctor. I'm a licensed stylist. I don't even touch or try to diagnose medical issues. But let me ask you something simple. Let me ask you something real simple. How often are you shampooing your hair? Why are you trying to go to the doctor to find out why your scalp is having, issues? How often are you shampooing? Because a lot of people are washing their hair every 2, 3. I know some people who shampoo their hair monthly. But the product they bought and use but the product, like when you get the shampoo from the doctor, if you read the back of it, it's going to say shampoo your hair every 2 to 3 days. Right? So if you're washing your hair every month and then you go to the doctor and they give you an $80 bottle of shampoo and say wash your hair every 2 days, well, you could have did that with just some regular shampoo, right? Why do you need a medicated that it doesn't even make sense? Why do you need a medicated shampoo if you're washing your hair once a month? That's a real problem. It's not the product. You can't find a good product. It's the lack of consistency. You cannot out product inconsistency. Should I say that again? You cannot out product inconsistency. Products support the routine. They do not replace the routine. So you can't find a good product to give you to give you the results that you want. It's the routine, and nobody's talking about the routine. Nobody's talking about the routine. Everybody wants to sell you a product, but nobody's talking about what the routine and how you need to detox. Now let's talk about detox. When you're doing a detox, it's not your everyday routine. This is not something that you do all the time with every shampoo. You shouldn't need to. Detox is like a reset. It's like it helps to clear away the buildup, because if you don't go in and do a deep clean, really you just like shampooing and we're not getting anywhere. It helps to loosen up like the buildup that's at the scalp, and it gives your scalp and hair a cleaner foundation. This is especially important. Hear me out. When you coming out of protective styles, braids, wigs, weaves, sew-ins, heavy product use, or a season when you just because you can't wash your hair under protective styles. That's like um, taking a shower with your clothes on. You can't. You can try. You can give yourself some relief, but it's not gonna work. So the detox isn't just the whole plan. It's like the reset. Your routine is what keeps the progress going. Da, 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 da. So now I'm going to show you what this looks like. This is what I want you to understand. Detox is not your routine. Detox is your reset. The real routine is consistent shampooing. Like shampooing one time is not going to get it. Deep conditioning one time, which I'm going to talk about that in a whole nother video because I got tons. But I got to get you on shampooing on a consistent basis. For most people, this means weekly. If it takes you 2 or 3 hours to wash your hair, that means that it's a sign that you waited too long and that there's too much buildup and detangling. So if you got to detangle and like if you have to plan 4 hours for wash day, that means you're waiting too long in between wash day. I know people like, well, if I wash every week, that's 4 hours every week. That's not true. That's not true. Because the more you shampoo, the easier it will be. That's power. The longer you wait, wash day becomes easier, much easier, like life changing easier. This is why I teach the gray hair restart, because this is what changes life. Why would my hair change my life? Because imagine if hair was not your issue. Like how would you deal with working out? How would you deal with traveling? How would you deal with just managing or showing up in the room every day? If hair wasn't your issue, how would it change your life? Because what I'm not trying to do is I'm not trying to sell you on just more random products. We need a whole plan, and they need to know what to do in between salon appointments, because the clients that are happier with their hair, they know what to do in between salon appointments. This is what I teach my clients, because it's I can make your hair look super nice. It's what you do when you get home or when you can't come to the salon on a regular basis. That's the problem. That's the problem. And that's why I'm here, because I'm here to help you in between. I want you to stay in the salon because that's how I make my living. You don't gotta come to me. You go to your stylist. But what are you gonna do in between salon appointments? And the only way you can do this is if you understand your own hair, the hair that you go home with every day. You need to understand it, right? Why you don't understand your own hair? Why? If you understood your own hair, life would be a whole lot easier. And if you understood your own hair, you wouldn't start over every time. Has anybody here started over on their hair and it's like, why is my hair keep going through? Maybe it's just your lack of understanding. It's not the stylist, it's not the products. It's you understanding a consistent routine so that you can get on a fresh start. That's why I'm here. All right. So if you know that this is for you, if your scalp feels blocked, if your hair feels dry, heavy, itchy, or like nothing's working, I put together a detox bundle for the hair reset. So what I need you to do is you can check out the bundle. You can go over to the website. I need everybody's email address because we're trying to turn everybody's life around. Sign up, get on the website, but we have a scalp reset button that has everything in it that you need that I'm going to walk through with you today on how to do a great hair restart. Did I say it right? All right. In it is the Remedy Detox, the Remedy Shampoo, the Remedy Conditioner, the Replenish, I'm sorry, Replenish Shampoo, the Replenish Conditioner, and free shampoo brush to scrub. If you have a daughter, you have somebody, if your hair is good, I know somebody at your job is struggling. And inside the reset bundle is $10 off your next service if you're in the area. I don't know, is it $10 off if you buy something else too? There's a coupon inside as well. All right. If your scalp is blocked, nothing else you do is going to work the way it should. This is where the it this is where it begins. All right. So I want to talk about what's in the bundle and how to do the gray hair restart. So I got a lot of stuff, y'all. I gotta so when you do the restart, hold on. Okay, this is what it looks like. All right, this is what it looks like. All right, I had to come from my phone. So if I look down, it's because I can't keep all this in my head. I gotta make sure I get y'all the right information. Section the hair in small sections. All right. Don't just like what we're gonna do is a lot of people when they wash their hair, they just put the hair on top and it never really gets clean. This is really good for people who have little children who, especially if they got a lot of hair and it's hard to clean their hair. Section hair in 4 sections. Now I have like a little bottle that comes with in the scalp reset. I have a little bottle that comes in the scalp. Oh, this is it. I love it. See that little bottle? So you put the shampoo. I should put a video. I'm going to post a video after this is over. And how you put the shampoo inside that little bottle. And then when you section the hair, dry hair, because you put the Remedy Detox in that little bottle. And then you make sure you work through the scalp dry. Do not wet the hair, because as soon as you wet the hair, it's a wrap. Like it's not going to get clean. I don't know, something about the scalp, like the flaky and the buildup. As soon as you add water, it go and it sucks. It like, don't wet it. Part the hair. I have a video that I'll post. I'll send the video in the email too. If you're on the email list, I'm gonna send you a post on how to do it exactly. Put it on the scalp and just work. You have to work. It's like build up. I want you to think of it like you have to work the shampoo, and the detox is the best for that. All right. So then in the spray bottle, where am I on time? Okay. In the spray bottle, you're gonna put 1 part ACV, apple cider vinegar, 2 part water. No, 1 part ACV, 3 part water. And then you're going to, at the roots, you're going to spray the apple cider vinegar on the hair. Remember, this is just what we're doing to get in front of it. Spray the apple cider vinegar. And now the shampoo's at the scalp. Remember, I should have posted the video here because I could have described it. Do you have the video on there, Lene, that we can show them? You take the shampoo and you work in the shampoo, spray a little bit of water, a little bit. You might need gloves because the apple cider vinegar burns my hands because I got eczema. And then you work you work it at the scalp, like you work it, because that buildup is impossible to get off. Let me tell you a story. I had a customer this week. She had the most beautiful head of hair, beautiful, like crazy beautiful, but she got her ponytail in her hair. And I was thinking to myself, like, what is this? The way they slicking down this hair with this ponytail and putting this braids up, this stuff that they're using, it is hard to remove. Hard to remove. That's why I was like, oh, we talking about scalp reset. Because everybody's wearing protective styles, but the stuff that they've got to use to lay the hair down, that's looking beautiful, but that stuff coming off is crazy. Like it's crazy to get off. So between the shampoo, and then spraying the apple cider vinegar on the ends, and then work it and let it sit. Work, let it sit. Work, let it sit. Great for little kids that don't like. 'Cause as soon as you put their hair under the water, it's a wrap. So you work it until you work it until you work it until you work it, and you'll see there's so much. If you have a lot of buildup on your hair, now mind you, want to detangle your hair first. Um, that's a whole nother video. I'm going to talk about that, but you want to pull it all the way through and work it, and then you shampoo the hair until it's clean. So you rinse it out. Then you have to follow up with a replenish moisturizing shampoo. You have to follow up with the replenish moisturizing shampoo, because if you don't, the hair will seem, it won't go back. Does that make sense? So you shampoo it, maybe 2 or 3 times with the replenish shampoo, and then you put the um, replenish moisture conditioner on, and you only leave that on a couple minutes, because remember, we just got the buildup off. So leaving the conditioner on for a long period of time is just like we're not going back to that. So that reset, you might do that. Again, it's normal price. We added in a comb, a shampoo brush, a spray bottle, a bottle for an applicator bottle, and all you're really paying for is the shampoos and conditioner. But we giving you a whole reset. So if you're coming out of braids, weave, wig, thank you, Nay. Okay, so can you rewind to the beginning when I laid it on, when I was laying it on her scalp? When I applied the shampoo directly to her scalp. Before is at the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Because you'll see that when you put that much shampoo directly on the scalp, and then the ACV the apple cider vinegar on the ends, and you work it through, it still won't lather up. Like, it takes a couple times. So if you're just shampooing regular with a regular shampoo, I guarantee you nothing's happening. I guarantee you nothing. How do I get this off? I guarantee you nothing's happening. So this is why I included the Remedy Detox shampoo. You have to follow up with a moisturizing shampoo, and you have to follow up with the moisturizing conditioner, and then that's going to make the complete bundle. I guess if you don't shampoo your hair that often, you definitely want to do that when you're taking out your protective style. We do the process in the salon. We do a detox process, because coming out of that it's brutal. It's brutal, and this is why a lot of people can't make the progress that they're making. You know what? We need to do a Q&A. Is there any Q&As on here before we bring Donna on? So we talked about the scalp reset. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get our hair healthy, because it takes 1 year to regrow a whole new head of hair. And in these videos, this is what I'm telling you need to do in the process, because a lot of people are doing protective styles because they want to take care of their hair underneath. But what are you doing? You're taking it down and putting it right back up. Nothing's changing. Like, you can't wear, if you can't wear your hair, if you can take your weave and braids down, but you still can't wear your own hair, then you need to watch all these videos. So we need you to be able to take down your own hair and then feel good about the hair underneath. That's the goal. That's the goal. All right. So, all right, we ready for Donna? All right. And then these shows, I bring on somebody who is not struggling with her hair no more. Because this is about, a lot of people struggle with what to do in between salon appointments. So I definitely have a slew full of people that I can pull from in my own. Donna, all right.
Hey,
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I got some things going on my screen that I don't, what, okay, because I can't get this thing off my screen. and I can't see. All right. Hey, Miss Donna. All right.
Hey.
Donna's story is her personal story. I've been doing her hair for a very long time. She relaxed her hair, but stopped her hair every time she would relax her hair. Her hair, she had a head full of hair, but when it get to a certain point, it would stop. And once she went natural, her hair started growing. But your hair used to break off in the nape area.
It just wouldn't, you know, when you would do a ponytail and when all of this is long, and then this would back here would just still be kind of short and just trying to make it.
Oh,
But
your hair was long.
yeah, that was before that was natural. And that
Okay.
was
Oh, that's
right
when your hair was natural.
that was
Oh, so wait.
natural. Because I did not
Oh,
do the big chop. So September of 2015 is when I chopped all my hair off. And that's what it looked like before I got it chopped off.
so how was you? Okay, all right, right, right. Before you got it chopped off, so you was wearing so you grew your natural out. You
I
was
grew it
wearing
out.
relaxers.
Yeah. So the picture that's on that poster, the curl with me and the two strand, that was actually before this picture. So the
Okay,
one in
this
the
one.
middle,
Oh, okay, and this is your natural hair here.
yes.
Okay, so you went from you was a relaxer queen.
Yes, ma'am.
You let's talk about it. You was on a relaxer queen,
Yes.
and you couldn't,
Had a standing appointment always.
and you never could see your hair, never see yourself.
Going natural? Oh,
Yeah, because you
oh,
was kind of like,
mm-mm.
because your
No,
friends, your
no,
friends that were natural, you like not me,
no. Because
not me.
I remember when I was a young girl and how big my fro was. And I used to say, I've been natural. I've been there. I don't want to do that.
So wait a minute. Okay, there you go. That's you relaxed,
That was me relaxed.
and that's as far as your hair would grow.
That's as far as it would grow. Yep. That's as far as it would grow. And it was all I used to get compliments on my hair all the time. It looked
Your hair is
healthy,
very pretty.
but
Mhm.
underneath that it got to a certain length and like no matter what I did, it just stopped growing.
Okay, so I want to talk about the trauma when you were little and all the hair. Let's
It was
talk
a
about
lot of hair.
it. Let's talk about that. So your mom were you tenderheaded?
I I was initially, but I got used
Got
to
used
my
to it.
mom, yeah, having
So
to detangle it, wash it, before the holiday and comb it
mhm.
and put it in a little balls, and then the next morning hot combing it out and all that. Yeah.
So would you say that the thought of going natural was taking your mind back to
Mhm.
that little girl? Like
Absolutely.
what's going to happen? Like the
Absolutely.
trauma. Can you talk about the trauma, like the feeling, like what the feeling?
So for me, I felt having a relaxer, it was easier to manage. And just the thought of not having straight hair or even just not having going and getting a relaxer and thinking about how my hair was when I was younger. And just the thought of having to manage that, I I was
Was
I didn't
dreadful.
want no parts of that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Why would I do that? So
Right.
then you got to a moment, you got to a point where you was just like, I mean, because you're pretty strong minded. So what would make you say, let
So
me
this is
grow?
what it was because I had girlfriends of mine, but see, for me, they were encouraging me to go natural, but their texture was different than mine. So I felt like they had an easier road to natural than I would.
Mhm.
But when I finally decided to do it, I said to myself, if I don't like it, if I can't manage it, I can always go back to the creamy crack. I'll just
Okay.
put a relaxer back in my hair. And so I said, I'll see it because they were pushing it, and they were both going to you, going using your products. And I just told
Uh oh.
my back to relaxer.
Okay. And so I'm assuming that you were getting your hair relaxed every couple weeks.
For me, it was probably like every 6 weeks I was getting a relaxer.
So when
Yeah.
you got to 12 weeks, what happened? You either decided to move forward or you didn't?
Because I was still going, and I wasn't going to you yet. I was still going to the salon, still getting it done. And then I got to when it was, because again, I didn't do the big chop, so I still had my hair. So I started buying different products and realizing, okay, I want to try to see if I can do this on my own. And because my hair was longer, starting the two strand twist was easier.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's where I started, and just started doing it. And that's that picture in the middle. And that I love that style. And that was my go-to. That was it. I would wash.
So you wasn't wearing it straight. You started getting it
Yeah.
twisted.
Because once it started growing out, you would have some straight pieces, and so I had to figure out what to do with that. So that style worked for me, just twisting it up, and I would wash it at night, do the flat twist, and then take it out. And then I was even like maybe 2 or 3 days in, I would just twist it back up again as opposed to washing it. And then I got to realizing that washing it more often, because I started to see the curl pattern coming in my hair, and that started getting me excited. Yeah, as to what
So
my hair could actually do.
the reason why this interview is so important is because when I'm talking about the great restart, it started out talking about growing out relaxers. But then it got into, okay, now we're natural, now what? But the
Right,
routine doesn't change. It
right.
doesn't change. Here you are 14 years in, still doing the same thing. And so that's why I'm like, okay, what does this have to do with what we're doing now? It's, to me, it's the longevity, like the
Yeah.
success of
Mhm.
it. All right, so I want to go past the relaxer, and you started twisting it,
Mhm.
and you decided. So every year, what do you think? How did it go every year? Did you ever feel like you wanted to go back to the relaxer?
I thought about it, but I told myself I was going to give it a year, because and that, after that, when I switched and started coming to you, and I realized this is not going to be an overnight thing. I'm going to have to let this relaxer grow out of my hair and see what happens. And so I did. I told myself I was going to give it a year, and I did. And after the year, I said, if I could go a year, 12 months without a relaxer, I'm good. I just got to figure out the product. I got to figure out what's going to work for me. But and what when I on that picture with me and that long hair, my hair would have never gotten to that length had I had a relaxer, because you saw that was that length that it was when I had braces. That was as long as it was going to get. But once I
Mm,
took that relaxer out of my hair, and I tried to find a picture of me, I actually had a picture of me where I took the nape of my neck and I stretched it out so
I see
you
how
could
long
see
it
how
is.
long my hair was.
Yeah,
Never, ever did my
yeah.
hair grow like that when I was getting relaxers.
And so, and that's why these videos are so important too, because a lot of people think of, like, when you talk about the childhood and you growing your hair out relaxer, like a lot of people just think of like, I can't do it. But when we're having these conversations, hopefully somebody will hear, that it was a process,
Yes.
and it took time,
Yeah.
and I adjusted, because you was a goer, hair salon
Yeah.
goer, like you was
Absolutely.
a goer,
Absolutely.
like you was in the
Hmm.
salon, like
Absolutely.
and you still go to the salon, but
Hmm.
like, let's talk about other things that changed besides your routine. So you started being able to take care of your own hair, where it
Hmm.
seemingly would have, most people thought it was impossible,
Right.
but for you,
Yes.
you took it
Because when I
on.
was relaxed, every 2 weeks I was at the salon. Every 2 weeks. I had a standing appointment at the salon every 2 weeks, and then every 6 weeks is when I got my relaxers. But being able to do it myself, I didn't. I got you get spoiled. You're going to the salon every 2 weeks. You don't have to worry about washing it or anything. So I had to do all of that all over again. But after like the 6 month mark, I was like, okay, I'm just going to embrace this thing, and I'm gonna give it 12 months and see what happens. And it was just really trial and error with the different products. Trying some that you hear other people, because at that point then I had several of my girlfriends who were going natural, so they were trying different products as well, so they were sharing things with me. But it's just really finding that product and washing it, because I wanted to see the curl pattern in my hair, and I realized that the more I washed it, the more it would start to come in. It was easier to manage as well. The more I
Easier
washed
the
it.
more you did it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then you got to a point where you just like, I don't want to go back to the salon.
Right. I
Now,
wasn't
mind
going.
you, let me just do a disclaimer. This is not, I have a salon. Like,
Yes.
we live off of
And I
people
still come.
to the salon.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that you stop going to the
Right.
salon. This has nothing to do with that.
Right.
This has everything to do with you being in control
Right.
and having, so that's my
Right.
disclaimer. Okay. So then you got to the point where you were able, because then you got to a point where, because you were still going to the salon, but you were learning in between.
Mm-hmm.
Then you decided, then you came across like hair is just not for me.
Right.
Like, like I don't need hair no more. I
Right.
mean, you tried to grow it back,
Right. I
but
have.
you decided because
I
that's what I
decided.
like.
Yeah. I decided that short is for me. But the day that I actually decided to cut it all off, I was going through a little phase in my life, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do because that was a drastic cut. I actually went from all of that hair to like
Oh, you did
this.
a big chop.
I did, yeah. When I
That was a moment.
decided,
It was a
yeah,
moment.
it
Okay.
was. But
Okay.
I was good. And then in between, I've tried to like let it grow because there was a picture that I had where it was kind of wild and I liked it, but it's a lot more to manage the longer it, at least for me, because my hair is thick. I have thick hair. So the longer it is, the longer it takes me to do what I need to do to it. And I like being able to wash it, comb it out, glaze it, mousse it, twist it, and be out of the house as opposed to doing a two-strand twist. I don't want to do that anymore.
I'm just done with that.
I don't.
Okay, so with that, because I need to put a pin there. Um, how has natural affected your life, like your workout, your
See, and,
routine?
and that's the thing because when I was working out when I was relaxed, but I go in and I'm wrapping it up and putting my headband on, and now I just go, and I don't care what it look like.
You don't
So
care
the
what
other,
it looks like.
well, I don't. But so this is the thing, though. So this is the thing. What I noticed about what I can do, what I've learned about my hair. Like on those days, it seems like I get the most compliments on the days where I feel like I need to do my hair. I go out and they be like, "Oh my gosh, your hair is so cute. I love the style." And I'm thinking I should have washed my hair this morning, but thank you.
So
So
your hair just being your hair
yeah,
is what other people can appreciate.
yeah, yeah. I
Mm,
get I get compliments all the time about my hair, all the time. So what I
mm.
do now, like if I feel like I need to wash my hair, but depending on what I got going on today, I just don't have time. When I'm in the shower to make it just kind of come back to life, I just put some like water in my hands and
And be
and
done.
that's what I do. And I look and I was like, oh, okay, I can get one more day out of this before I
Mhm.
actually have to do it.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Now we're going into the routine.
Hmm.
Like what is your, like, how you locked in, you know, because when I talk about the routine, I'm talking about, and then everybody kind of branches off and do what works for them. So how often, even when then, how often do you shampoo when it's too long? Like, how do you,
I probably on your standards, I'm sure I do not wash my hair as often as I should.
but it's not my standard, it's the standard that works for you.
For
But when
me,
you
it's
don't have a
probably
standard, I'm gonna start you there.
yeah. I probably wash my hair twice a week.
I say once a week.
Oh,
Well,
was it? I
you
thought
thought
you
I
was
said every day.
well. I know you used to do that every day.
No,
You
I
see
didn't
that
used to
work
do
because
it. Yeah,
your grade of hair is easy. It's
I don't
straighter,
wash. I don't wash
finer
my
than mine.
hair.
But if my hair if I had a different texture, I probably would wash it more, maybe. But twice a week, it works for me.
Twice a week is huge for Black women.
Okay.
That you said that is because I wash my hair once a week.
Okay. Okay.
That was back in the day. That was back in the day. That was a long
But like
time before.
rain, I don't care about rain anymore. I don't care about getting my hair wet anymore. Like I mean, I have an umbrella, but unless it's like pouring down, raining, like coming down in buckets, I'll go from the car to wherever I'm going. I don't even care about that.
Okay.
I'm like, my hair needs water. It loves water.
It loves water, moisture. Okay, so when you wash it, how long do you plan, to do your hair? Like how long is the process to
Wash it, styling it. It'll probably take me 20 minutes.
20 minutes to do your hair
Yeah. Yes.
from the beginning?
Yeah.
Then how long does it take for it to dry?
I leave the house. I walk. I don't even wait for it to dry. I don't. I even in the wintertime, I don't wait for it to
This
dry.
is like for black women to talk like this. Like I hope don't nobody leave. They're like, girl, let me just go on.
No,
They
I
talk.
wash it, and but see, by the time I twist it up and then put my clothes on, do my face and all that, it's not dry, but the mousse has evaporated. So
Okay,
I walk out of the house with wet hair all the time.
okay. So the process you can do, very easily,
Yeah.
and you don't. It doesn't inconvenience anything. Date night, none of that.
Mm-mm.
Like
I
hair is
plan for all that. I plan for all that.
so. Like when it comes to, so what would you want people to know? Like what do you want people to know that maybe you didn't know, but now that you know for sure when it comes to loving your own hair?
I think for me is there was a misconception that it was going to be difficult to manage. And for me, my it was my misconception because I know how thick my hair is. And so I just felt like it was going to be difficult to manage. But I would suggest anyone who is thinking about, going natural, who've been watching you or watching other ladies who've been through this journey for a while, just try it. I mean, if you're struggling with your hair, struggling with it growing or whatever it might be, if you've been contemplating going natural, I say just do. I mean, just like me, I gave myself, but don't go into it, for a couple months and then think, oh, it's not doing what I need to do. I'm going to go back to a relaxer because you've got to give it some time to get through the process. You got to get that relaxer out of your hair. You got it so that your natural hair can start doing what it's designed to do.
And I wonder, is because sometimes I'll be wondering, I'm like, ain't everybody already natural?
There's a lot of
A lot
us.
of people, and so now I think it's more people that wear protective styles
Yeah.
who
And I've
still.
never I haven't done that. I didn't quite understand protective style. I still don't. But I've never done protective styles.
Well, now I feel like that's the wave now. Like
Mhm.
back in the day, people were going out relaxers, so kind of had to speak to that. And then there was a phase where people were natural, but they still didn't know what to do. Now this generation, they're natural, but they're using a lot more protective styles, which is great. But now I feel like they're kind of forgetting about the hair underneath.
Mhm.
So even the people that I'm talking to, like, it's still a routine. It's still a process.
Mhm.
This is actually the same process that we were dealing with when we were dealing with relaxers. It's just a different. You still got to look at your hair differently because one day you're gonna wake up and say, "Where my hair?"
Mhm.
So we hoping we having these conversations so that you can at least, take care of. So like your story is so important because it shows like you still take care of your hair and you
Mhm.
still like, I mean, you grew up, you with a when you were little with a lot of hair, and you still have a lot of hair. Like if you decided to grow your hair out, it will still be long, but you're not afraid
Right.
to, you're like you, and you're happy you landed where
Yes.
you're
Yes.
comfortable with routine, and this works with you, your
Yes.
lifestyle. You got a nice system and it
Mhm.
works. And that's what my show is about. Like if you trying to recover your hair, like don't give up, like just keep,
Yeah.
washing and what have you.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
All right, well, Miss Donna, thank you
You're
for
welcome. Thank you.
sharing your story and staying the journey, and being a good example of a professional who just represents and loves her hair the way it is, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so all right, how we got it? Thank you, Miss Donna. Appreciate it. So, I don't know. I have people that that people came on stage. I don't want to. Is there any Q&As that we can do? That can any Q&As from Miss Donna's story? Because I didn't add that to the program, but I'm thinking that'll be good, especially after we hear Donna's story and people start looking at their hair differently. Okay, I've been natural for 15 years. This is Miss Ruth. Oh, hey, Miss Ruth. She's a good customer. One of my customers. I've been natural for 15 years, and those 15 years, and out of those 15 years, I have used my products in the process for 15 years. We've been around. We've been around that long. Wow. Thank you, Miss Ruth. I appreciate you and I appreciate your business and your hair. We need to get you on the show too, because I think when you show that this is not only does it work, but it has worked for 15 years. And so if it worked for 15 years, it's going to work moving forward. Miss Princess, I got this thing on my thing and I can't see. Oh my God. I have my first appointment with you on Friday. Cannot wait. Oh, Miss Princess, let's go. Let's go. Because you already know what I'm going to talk about, right? And if you have an appointment, then it's ready to go. Miss Stephanie says product buildup is a major problem. Well, she is right. Honestly think product buildup is the problem. Cause how many times have you heard people say, I need how do you get more moisture? Right? I don't want to be rude and be like, wash your hair. That sounds real arrogant. I don't want to say that. But I'm like, I need to talk like if I can do 52 videos on washing your hair because that's where everything changes. It's not product, even though I sell product and my products have been working. They've been working for me for close to 20 years. My products work, but it's just not just the products, it's the process. That's where my story is different. That's where I'm different than everybody else because everybody else they got a product and they're doing some people don't even do hair. I still do 30 people a week. So I need a shampoo and conditioner that's going to be reliable for 30 heads, 30 detox, and 30 product buildup issues. I need shampoo that's going to work. And not only is it going to work in the salon, but how much better is it going to work when you're using it at home in between salon appointments? Like it can literally change the whole texture of your hair and the whole outcome. Um, yeah, that's it. Any other things? Because if not, then we're gonna hang up. But I would like to get to the point where I'm able to. Oh, you want me to go back over the reset kit? All right. The replenish shampoo, the remedy detox shampoo, the replenish conditioner, the ACV bottle doesn't have apple cider vinegar in it, but it's a bottle where you can spray. This is perfect. This is a good kit for somebody who wears protective styles, somebody who has a daughter whose hair is hard to shampoo. And I'm gonna post the detox video with it, and even people with dreads, people that have a lot, just issues with getting in front of it. It comes with a shampoo scrubber, a comb, uh, um, and also a $10 off coupon for your next purchase. So if you're not already on the email list, I need you to go to www.synergysalon.com, join our email list, because if you have a hair situation that you can't turn around, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. And it's not just by buying a product. I'm going to walk you through. How often should you detox? Hey, Miss Maynita. Hey, Miss Maynita. Okay, look. This is the detox. So, see, her hair isn't wet yet. You should detox. It's a reset. It's really for people who don't shampoo their hair often. You, Miss Maynita, I know that ain't you. You probably don't need it. But if you're coming out of braids, wigs, weaves, so a lot of the people on this call probably don't need it because these are my followers who been shampooing and been on a scalp reset. Because when you think about it, when does your hair feel the best? When does your hair feel the best? Meaning, when do you like? That's me spraying the ACV on the end. When do you like your hair the best? If you was thinking right after you shampoo, then you get the booby prize. Like, yes, when you shampoo your hair, when your hair is clean, that's when you like your hair the best. That's when you feel confident. That's when you love the texture. It's when it dries, when things go south. So these videos, these lives, I'm going to teach you how to like it when you wash it, but then what to do after. And not only what to do, because remember, let's go back to Donna's story. It's a process. So if you're not following me, you might mess around and then look up and keep repeating the same stuff and get stuck again. Get stuck again. It's a process. So by us doing these lives, by you joining the YouTube, you can watch it. You can either one or two things, join the YouTube channel so that you can hear how to get through it, how to get to the other side, and be 15 years in loving your hair. What is loving your own hair going to do for you? You're going to have extra confidence. Working out, that's a wrap. Like working out, swimming, you want to swim? Let's go. You wanna your hair to grow without breaking? Donna said that. Yeah. Oh God, I can't read it. How does a fine hair get? This thing is in the way. I can't see it. Let me see. Only visible to you. I can't see. Something is in the way. I can't see. Oh, how does get more dense? Great question, princess. So the more you shampoo it. So whenever you got to do when you're doing a process, your hair is going to change from the root. That's where hair grows in at, right? It grows in from the root. So what we're going to do is it's going to grow, we're going to cut, it's going to grow, it's going to cut, it's going to grow, it's going to cut. And then following these videos every week, you're going to replace it. You're going to get freedom. Period. Freedom. I talked about working out. It's bad that I don't want to talk about like not going to the salon. I don't want to talk about like not going to the salon because I want you to go to the salon. I do. I want you to go to the salon, but also want you to feel free. I want you to understand. I want you to go to the salon and have a successful salon visit because your hair is making progress and you're not waiting on somebody else to turn it around. So the more you shampoo your hair, the thicker your hair is going to get at the root. But if you're not understanding the process, you could just be shampooing your hair and nothing's happening. So I'm going to walk you through it. My silk press is boneless. you said you said my silk press is boneless. We're gonna walk you through it, and you're gonna be just like Miss Donna. You're gonna be just like Miss Ruth. You're gonna look up, and 15 years later, the hair is gone because this is not just about growing your hair out of a relaxer, right? Like it's the same process. It's not. It's starting over, and then what I talked about earlier in the video, like keeping the process, making progress, keeping the process, and then making progress. If you keep jumping in and you don't have no clear set system, then it's not going to turn around. You can easily look up and it be 15 years from now and you still going to the doctor getting shots. Why can't you be like Miss Donna and Miss Ruth and Miss Magneta and have control over your hair? So we gonna, yeah. So Friday we're gonna get started, and then your life is gonna change because of what, like, Linda. Hey girl, hey girl, hey. Linda, Miss Linda too. Like these people who have been following me since 2020, and they're still in a good place, and they recommend people because when you are at the water cooler or you're at an event with your family or whatever, hair is always a topic. It's always, I just, my hair, my hair, my hair. How would you be that friend to say, listen, you need help, you need a new routine, you need help with your process, send them over here. She'll thank you. She'll thank you, and she'll appreciate you. We gonna She gonna have a cabinet full of products that don't work, and we gonna replace it with 2 or 3 items, and she's gonna feel free. Stephanie says, I promise if you trust the process, you will have success. I got a whole gang of people that's been through it, and I'm so grateful. So grateful that we're here. Now we're going to take over the world. So thank you guys for tuning in with me. Make sure that if you haven't already signed up, go on to synergysalon.com. I want you to go over there, give me your email. Yeah, because that's where you're going to get discounts. And I ain't going to say discounts, but that's where I'm going to like just keep with you because I want you to be Ruth. I want you to be Stephanie. I want you to be Miss Bandita. I want you to be Linda. I want you to be Donna. I want you to love your hair because that's all we got as Black women. Is that's one thing we got is our own hair. So we all know women that are struggling with our hair. So I just feel like it's time for us to there's solutions. There's a way that we can turn this around, and y'all gonna help us. All right. All right. Thank you guys. I will see you later.